Our next candidate is Cameron Langley. Cameron, you have 2 minutes to introduce yourself.
Thank you. My name is Cameron Langley. I'm 19. I've lived here 3 years, and I'm running for Coos Bay City Council because I recognize that the status quo isn't working for everyone, and I want to bring about real change in our community. I think problems here like homelessness, addiction, and poverty are unacceptable, and they should be number one on the problems we are trying to solve. I'll also stand up for the different sub-communities of Coos Bay, such as BIPOC, LGBTQ+, the disabled, the unhoused, the addicts, etc. I'll protect on our environment with all that I have. I will support policies and programs that will make Coos Bay more green, meaning more sustainable and less polluted. And I'd like to get to know the people and businesses of Coos Bay and hear directly from them about their experiences, problems, and possible solutions. I don't own nor direct any business, and I'm currently unemployed, so I'm not beholden to any special interest, just my community. I hope Coos Bay votes for me to be one of 6 Coos Bay City Councilors, and if they do, I'll do my very best to be your representative. That's my introductory statement.
The first question, how would you improve communication between the city government and its citizens?
I think that nowadays we are in the information age and the technological age, which means that many people get their information from social media or from their email. And so I think that improving the methods by which they reach people through those channels is would be a very good thing to do. I think being more clear with people and explaining things like the city charter, the council rules, the budgets, and the resolutions, and allowing people to understand these things better would allow for better civic engagement, in my opinion. I think that the newsletter is a pretty good place to start. I think that the city council reaches out to its constituents pretty well, but I think that there are ways to improve, and I hope that that answers the question.
Okay. Thank you. Second question, what should be the city's approach to the problem of the unhoused?
Well, I would like to speak to the unhoused and the organizations and coalitions that help the unhoused. But generally speaking, my approach to the unhoused has always been supporting affordable housing and just straight up housing programs for the homeless that put them in a house, no charge, it would be a program. But I'd love to speak to other city council members or other people in the community to see how best to address this problem. It breaks my heart. There are people that are sleeping in tents or in the rain or in their cars. These are the people that we need to put on the top of our priority list. And I definitely support any solutions for the unhoused that could be implemented. And I definitely like to have a conversation on this.
The next question, given the continuing crisis of global climate change, what would be your approach to protecting the environment?
Well, I recognize that climate change is one of the greatest issues of my age. Being 19, it's a very gloomy thought of what my future is going to be with climate change. And living in a coastal area, that's even more impactful to me. So I support a Green New Deal, the type of Green New Deal that has been proposed by Bernie Sanders of the Green Party, with some meat on its bones. I think that we need to invest in sustainable solutions and renewable resources. I think that we are in a great position for wind power. I think that we can all do our part to grow our own crops and possibly lower our emissions. I don't support necessarily any kind of switch to electric vehicles. I think that that's unnecessary and it uses up too much lithium. So I would support carbon engineering, which is an idea that's been presented in the past couple years that would give us carbon fuel that would work in any vehicle so that we wouldn't have to switch out for Elon Musk's Teslas. As for what I can do as city councilor, I will promote sustainable solutions such as solar energy, wind energy, people growing their own crops, people riding bicycles more, anything that can help on our city level. But I really think that it begins with state and federal when it comes to a Green New Deal.
The fourth question, is there waste in the city budget? If so, where would you make cuts and why?
Can I just ask, did you say, is there waste in the city budget?
Waste.
Waste, okay. Well, I think that looking at how things have changed within the past couple years, so the police department has gotten a couple million more dollars. I think that that could be used for a service that has a social worker and a therapist, much like Coos in Eugene. I think that could actually take a lot of the load off of the officers and actually take a lot of people out of our jails, and they wouldn't be overbooked. And people who are in a low place and are struggling with drugs or mental illness could get rehabilitation instead of criminalization. I also think that money could come out of their automotive budget, the police departments, because from what I've heard, they don't repair their vehicles, they buy new ones. So maybe taking some money from them would make them learn to do better maintenance on their vehicles. Other than that, I've looked at the city budget before. I've been reviewing it, but I don't know much about city budgets. So I'd be happy to take anybody's input on what they think about it.
Okay, Cameron, you have 1 minute to wrap up. You can talk about anything you want.
Okay, I have a closing remark written down. Thank you, League of Women's Voters, for doing these interviews. It's great to hear directly from the candidates, especially during COVID, and this was great for the candidates too. To the voters, I know I'm a 19-year-old fresh out of high school, and I'm unemployed, but I care about this city and the voters, and while I might not have knowledge on some local issues, I'm always willing to listen, learn, and lead. I want to be an efficient representative of Coos Bay. I hope you'll give me a vote this November, and I also want to endorse Cody Scoff for City Councilor as well, and I endorse Mark Daly for Mayor. Thank you.